Hello, everyone. Hope everybody is doing well on this Wednesday. It is a hump day. Sorry for fixing my hair. I never really know how I look until I've gotten onto a live. So just forgive me if all of a sudden I look at myself, I'm like, huh! And trying to like fix my hair on this. But thank you so much for joining us. This is actually our first live on my Envision Weddings brand, which is my main brand, Envision Weddings and Events. I did a live yesterday actually on my destination brand, which is envision.destinations. If you wanted to go check that out, it's a little bit different than this one. The destination brand is mainly focused on lives with vendors from all around the world, but the main one with Envision Weddings is particularly focusing on our local vendors, which is really something that I wanted to do given the times right now, and maybe something that I will continue to do after this pandemic is over. But I got this idea to want to feature, people that are local to us, even though it doesn't feel like it really, because we're still just doing everything virtual. But I think most importantly, we want to support the vendors that are in our area. So when this is all over, then you have people in mind that you might want to hire for your events or anything like that. Or not. This might just be an educational thing, so which is also fine. This is a treat for me because I love talking to people in the business, outside the business, people that just own a business, entrepreneurs and the like. That's just something that I love to do. So this comes really easily to me. So I want to thank, first of all, everybody that has signed up to do a live with me in the next month. It's actually in the next 2 months. We're going to be doing this every Wednesday. And so far it's just called Envision Live. I haven't really put like a fancy name to it. But today I actually have a really special guest. She is somebody that started a very unique business that we can offer to our clients, and actually a whole bunch of other clients outside of the wedding business. And I'm going to bring her on right now, and then she could tell you more about the business rather than me, because I think that she would know a little bit more than I would. So, ba ba ba. Love this thing. It just it takes a little bit of time for somebody to come on. So let's see. Hello.
Hi, Kimberly. How are you?
Samantha. I'm doing good.
I'm doing really well.
Yeah, isn't this cool? I don't even know, did this exist, Instagram lives where you can add people to your lives before the pandemic? I don't even know.
Honestly, I don't know. This is my first live interview. So, yeah, I'm really excited about it. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just a gathering. I feel like what lives are, it's kind of like if somebody, sorry, that was my battery. I'm hoping that it's not going to die during this live, and if it does, then we're going to restart this. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Because I connected everything to my, hold on, just give me 1 second. I'm going to actually do this. Hold on. Technical difficulties.
Love technology, yeah.
Great. There we go. What I love about
All right,
this,
awesome.
Everybody's been super forgiving about,
yeah,
because this is what our lives have been for the past however long. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me here. Once I heard that there was something like this where people can talk to each other where other people were watching, which is kind of creepy, I thought that it was a perfect way to connect with people. So I just realized I actually never really introduced you. So this is Samantha.
Okay.
Everybody's joining. This is Samantha from Vine and Vintage Events, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Vine as in for wine, right?
Yeah.
You're yeah, that's right, Kim. And I'm going to actually let you talk a little bit about your business and what you do, because we actually just met. I don't think that we actually met prior to Valentine's Day, have we?
I think maybe in the BNI world, but just very quickly. So yeah, I think our first proper introduction was the Galentine's Day event at Apple Lady
Yes.
Cooks.
So our friend Shayna, or my friend Shayna, and I think that
Vanessa.
you knew about it through. So regardless of or Vanessa, that's right.
Vanessa,
I know.
yeah.
There we go.
Right.
So there we go.
Everyone's connected, yeah.
I know Shayna through the events world, and then I actually know Vanessa through BNI.
Right.
And this world, kind of like together, right? So then we met there at our Galentine's event, and I was like, this is perfect. Let's bring on, somebody that actually has a little bit of a unique business and not just like a florist or whatever. Not that that's a bad thing. That came out wrong. But I'd like you to tell us about what Vine and Vintage Events does first.
Sure, yeah. Well, thank you for having me. I think it's so awesome that we're still connecting. I think it's so important for especially solopreneurs to, be connecting, talking to each other, keeping each other's heads up, giving each other new ideas. So thank you for inviting me here today and sharing a little bit about what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
So my company, Vine and Vintage, what we usually do is we plan events around wine and food. But the main focus is for people to connect and socialize and have a really good time with each other. So we introduce a lot of fun activities and games. And it's really just to bring people together and take out the intimidation of wine. So we work with companies, we work with groups of people in their homes, offices, venues, and it's been a lot of fun throughout the 3 years that we've been launched.
Right.
And until this pandemic hit and we can't host events. So
I know. I was actually telling somebody that they're like, how have you been? I'm like, well, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because our whole job depends on people coming and showing up.
Yeah,
it
interacting.
Depends on social gatherings. It depends on people, and the bigger the better, right? So this whole restriction of less than 20 people, less than 10 people doesn't really help us too much.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
We encourage people to come, which is a very weird dynamic for us now, because it's kind of like, what the hell are we going to do now when people can't even make it, right? So I mean, I think I really like what you said about taking the fear. I'm sorry, I don't know the exact words that you said, but the fear out of wine in general, because when I think about wine, I'm probably a good majority of the people, where to me, a lot of red wines to me, I know everybody's going to chastise you. Don't kill me.
No, they won't. They won't.
but I'm a lot like people where it's just a red's a red. I don't really think you know what I mean? When people are just like, oh, you're having steak, you're going to have red wine with that. I'm like, sure, but I'm kind of whatever. Everything kind of tastes the same a little bit to me, right?
Definitely.
I am actually, to commemorate the live today, I have
nice
brought my own wine.
It is Wine Wednesday.
It is Wine Wednesday. I didn't know that was a thing until I saw your hashtag. I'm like, oh, well, I guess that's perfect.
Yeah.
To you today, right?
Yeah.
So,
no, I definitely understand. When I was creating my business, the epiphany that it came from was actually, I lived in Liberty Village for a year.
Right.
And I wanted to just meet my neighbors and make new friends. And so I decided to start a wine club. Right. And within 2 weeks, it grew to a club of over 450 people.
Right.
And so I was just hosting these events for people in the neighborhood. And I saw that people were coming together, drinking different wine, but it was all about just having fun and just connecting and meeting each other. And so that's really, what my company is based off of. There's a lot of different opportunities in the city to take courses or go to events that are more structured and focus on more of the education side.
Right.
And, when I'm thinking about doing events for groups of people to build a sense of belonging or team build or network or celebrate a birthday, it's really
Yeah.
about them having fun and coming together
Right.
and just enjoying themselves, and not so much about learning the nitty gritty, because you're like most of consumers. They're, they just want to drink. They just want to enjoy
Yeah.
themselves, and they might want to learn a thing or two, but
Right.
realistically, they just want to enjoy themselves and drink, what they like, and eat what they like, and have a good time. So that's really
And,
what I've
and
created.
it's not right. And it's not like me representing the general consumers. I mean, like, it's not like we don't want to learn, right? Like, we do want to know the difference between things, but I think that the intimidation is around, like, are we going to get this right? Are we going to get this wrong? Like, can you
Yeah.
red wine with fish? Like, and is that just like taboo? Like, and we don't, we get a little bit nervous, especially like I have a friend that's a sommelier, and I told him that, like, from now on, I am not making any suggestions around him about anything. Like, he has to make all the suggestions and the decisions. And he even said he knows himself. And he even said, he's like, no, absolutely. You can't, you're not going to be able to order wine around me anymore. And I'm like, oh, well, thanks. But I
Yeah.
think that's
Well, I
great.
mean, and
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's why I love what I do, because I'm able to share my intelligence with other people, like what I'm
Right.
smart about. Um,
Right.
but that's where it's great, because we customize your events for you. So, if you're somebody who just wants to have a good time and play our wine mystery game, which is a really fun game, you can just play that. Or if you want to, have a more structured tasting where we're talking about, you know, um, like soil types and topography and things like
Right.
that, we can do that too. So it really just opens up the availability to all different levels, all different drinkers, and yeah, just to make it more
Absolutely.
fun.
I think that that's amazing. And of course, I'm always like picturing like charcuterie and wine and just people.
Hmm.
I really love charcuterie. So, like, to me, that's an optimal situation for myself. Um,
Yeah, it's a
but, like,
must.
given the fact, I must, of course, I I am thinking about the fact that, COVID has impacted a lot of things. So can you tell me a little bit about what you were doing before? And I mean, like, you're talking about like wine mystery games and things like that, which all sound amazing, except for the fact that we need people to show up in person for those things.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now? Now that the pandemic has started, like, what are you doing now to try to serve, I guess, your community and your clientele?
Right. So, when this all started, I mean, it was quite a shock, because we had a bunch of our events canceled, and we host some of our public events with Vanessa at
Mhm.
Aphrodite Cooks,
Right.
actually. So it was kind of just like, okay, do we sit on this? Do we wait for a little bit to see what happens? But then when we learned that, like, this is going to be a long situation, and it's more serious, we wanted to come up with something where people could still be having fun and experiencing.
Right.
Because especially during this time, there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of scary times, and panic, and people might not be working, they might be bored, they might feel alone. So there was an opportunity for us to firstly be delivering wine to people. There are a lot of different outlets
Right.
around Toronto
Right.
that do that, like LCBO does that, and then wine agents, you can order private wines.
Yeah.
But because of the experiences that we offer, we wanted to step it up and offer
Mhm.
something that was unique in a delivery. So we created the home wine experience.
Yes, I was waiting for you to say
Yeah,
experience.
I
The
know.
wine experience,
I
because
let
I
that
remember,
drag on a little bit.
I asked you for some information on that too, because I was just
Yeah,
like, what is this whole thing? Like, I think that, and it's not just delivering wine, right? Like,
right.
anybody can just, like you said, like LCBO can just deliver wine. So
Yeah.
what else is included in this experience?
Yeah, so we're not in the business of selling wine. So
Right.
and there are so many opportunities. So we thought that if we started, it wouldn't, we didn't know how much traction we would get. So we wanted to offer something more. So the home wine experience is a self-guided program that provides you with fun entertainment as well
Right.
as your wine. So what's included is different wines that you can choose from. And these wines aren't available at the LCBO.
Oh,
So they're
fun
exclusive.
fact.
Yeah, they're exclusive and they're from small wineries around the world.
Oh,
Um, so I've handpicked them, and they've been so popular. And I have a few here that I'll show you later that have been like flying. So you get 12 bottles of that at least. And
wow.
then also you get a virtual program. So when you click the to access that,
Hello?
sorry, I just got a call.
It's just
I
like
don't
me
know
when
if,
my phone was
yeah,
dying. Just
I
like
don't
this
know
pop.
if you
So
could
that's what it
turn
looks
that
like.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's what it looks like when it pops. Great. Good to know.
Okay, so included with the wine bottles, you also receive tasting notes. You get a little bit of a story background on the vineyard. You get a video that each winery made especially for this program. You get a recipe to pair with each wine, and these recipes have come from Aphrodite Cooks. So
Nice.
Vanessa and I work together a lot, and she caters for me
Yes.
a lot. So she has kindly given out recipes, and you can actually mix and match the recipes too.
Right.
Um, you receive a discount code for Vanessa's online cooking classes that she's now doing.
And we're
And
saying, so
then
just sorry to interrupt, but we're saying Vanessa's name a lot, and I just feel like she deserves a little bit of like an introduction. So Aphrodite Cooks is a catering company in Toronto, uh,
and cooking class
and cooking
studio.
classes, and she does amazing work. And she was also at
Amazing.
Galentine's event as well, and she provided a charcuterie board and everything like that. Amazing. Like I have nothing but good things to say about her. She's actually catered some of my events as well, even for weddings. So like definitely something to reach out for. But sorry, let me not interrupt
No,
you. I just
that's okay.
Vanessa
Yeah,
name.
Vanessa is a phenomenal chef. She caters for my events. She has cooking classes. We do cooking classes and wine tastings together, and it's so fun. So right now she's offering online classes, so you can do that at home. So you do get a discount code in the home wine experience package. And then as
Amazing.
well, you get stemless wine glasses that you can
Oh,
drink out
so
of.
cute.
Yeah, so
Can
we've
you
kind of
imagine they delivered this wine and they're just like, this is so great. And like, crap, we don't have
we don't
glasses.
have well, I really hope that's not the case
I
because you
know,
can
but
really
nobody's
drink out of
watching.
any glass.
Nobody's watching. So if you drink wine out of your mug, nobody has to know, right?
Yeah.
But we
You're
obviously want
you're
it.
isolated at home, we're not judging. So
There's no
Zenon,
right way. There's
yeah,
no right. Yeah.
Zenon Glass, Zenon Glass has designed the glasses.
Nice.
And so yeah, that's what you get in your home wine experience. We deliver free around the GTA, and we've had a lot of positive feedback on it. You know, from people loving the wines to them actually making the recipes and looking at the videos and tasting notes and just having something to do at home. So it's been really great.
Have you found, sidebar question, but like there's 12 bottles of wine, and forgive me if this sounds a little, it's not negative, not a negative question, but like given the fact that there's only so many people that you can have at home, did you find that people have said like it's too much? Like it's a lot of wine?
So it's funny because we have been launched for this program for not even a month. So we did our first delivery on April 14th, and
Yeah.
I've already had 6 or 7 customers order again.
Oh, wow.
So, you
That's a
know,
lot of wine.
I mean,
No judgment.
there's no
Tasting.
judgment,
No judgment.
and
Holy,
the average household has 2 people,
right.
and if they're drinking a lot, if they're drinking a bottle every night, that there's 12 nights.
These are
But
four.
also,
Yeah.
alcohol sales are way up right now. People are
Yeah.
drinking a lot more.
Agreed. Yeah.
And I do want to be conscious of this because I'm somebody that's very health conscious, and I work out a lot, so I'm not just sitting here drinking either. But it's something that people are using to get by and enjoying.
Of
So,
course.
there are some people that still have their case of wine, and that's perfectly fine. I wouldn't go through 12 bottles that quickly, but
Okay, good. That makes me feel a little better because I'm just
oh
like,
yeah,
yeah, like I just can't. Like that just seems like a lot of wine to me. But yeah, I agree. Like if you're going through like a bottle a day, right, and that
yeah,
means that person in the household, if it's a two-person household, they're going through like half a bottle, which is actually not a lot for one
yeah.
person. What,
But
like two
also it's but
glasses?
also this program is like one time order. You
Right, right.
there's no
Fair.
obligation to order again or anything, and you can keep this wine for um some of it you can keep for longer, but you don't have to drink this wine within COVID
It's
time.
like,
So
there's an expiry date. Let's just go with
yeah.
this. Like, yeah, no, no,
So
guys,
it's
this is
yeah, and the wines are different too. So one day might be really nice out and you might want a white wine, and one night you
right,
might be having steak, so you might want a red wine. So
right.
it's not like you're drinking the same wine every day. So that's really nice about it too.
Yeah, and I mean, like, obviously we're promoting safe drinking as well, right? We don't want you to go through the whole case in like a week, and if you do, like, that's great. Again, no judgment here.
Well, I
But
mean, you're self-isolating, so it's not like you can really be driving
that's
anywhere,
right.
or
That's,
so just really
so
enjoy
enjoy.
it.
It's like I feel like that's amazing. So I really like the fact that you pivoted and you definitely. Is this something that when the pandemic happened, like, did you immediately come up with that idea that we should do this like right away, or like was it something brewing that for a long time and then it kind of came to fruition?
Um, it definitely came up during the pandemic
Okay.
because we're such a company that's based on face-to-face interaction and getting people to come together.
Right.
Um, and so within this, I mean, it's obviously been hard to do. So we wanted to create something where people can still do that as much as they can.
Hmm.
And to be honest, it was actually my mom's idea to deliver wine with tasting notes.
Yeah.
So
Why not? Right. Like,
Thanks to my
there's just
mom for her genius idea.
right. Like, I mean, even just for not for nothing, but like this is an amazing way to spend time like while you're at home, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
there's just so many things out there right now that you would never think that would be like the sales would be shooting up. I mean, yours is very popular and I could definitely see a market there, but like knew that like puzzles would be sold out across the country because,
yeah,
because
yeah. Or
there's a lot
like
of closet
flour,
puzzlers,
baking flour.
right? Like baking flour, baking soda, like these kind of
Yeah,
things. And it's the thing that once everybody went into quarantine, how all of the businesses and the markets kind of shifted because we all now need something to do at home besides work and taking care of the kids and all of that stuff, right?
right.
So
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. So I think you spoke about this a little bit, but just to elaborate more, like what is your ideal client? Like what is your target market that you usually try to attract?
So we work with a lot of corporate companies. So we've done events for companies like GoDaddy, Air
Right.
Transat, Airbnb, Cadillac. So a company that is looking to, bring a group of people together, whether
Mhm.
that's 10 people to 150 people,
Right.
because as I mentioned, our events are very customized. We can really we can make it customized for
Right.
an assortment of people. But a company that really wants to do something fun and different and make it all about, team building and employees gaining a sense of belonging and having fun.
Right.
Um, and then we also work with groups of people. So if you're celebrating a birthday or anniversary, or you're just having a night in with friends,
Right.
um, I've had a lot of clients, in their 40s and 50s who they don't want to go out downtown Toronto. They want everything brought to them.
Right.
So we bring everything to their home and set
Right.
it up, and
Not
it's a
even
lot of fun.
I would enjoy that experience. Like
Yeah.
I don't like going downtown there, to be honest. But yes.
It's weird to talk about this. I haven't talked about like the event,
Right.
described how it works in so long. It's crazy. But Yeah,
To
I
remind
think,
people, right? Like that after this is over, this is what your business was framed around, right? Like,
yeah,
and this is, I mean, people are going to be going back to work. I'm on the premise of like, you know, there's a lot of people saying like this is going to last for a really long time and da da da. I'm like, yeah, sure, it could last for a very long time, but there still is an end date. Somehow, somewhere, it's still a,
hopefully.
yeah, hopefully,
I'm kidding.
you know,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
It'll be interesting to see when quarantine is lifted, how people react towards events. Like if they're gonna be waiting and not wanting to be in close
Fair.
proximity for people, or if they're gonna want to be bringing people together to, bring up
Celebrate
the motivation. Yeah, celebrate, bring back the motivation to coming back to work. So I'm excited to see like
how that will
which
work.
way it goes.
Yeah,
Hopefully it goes in the
totally.
event
I mean, like
side, but
I've had two different reactions for weddings, right? Like one side is like exactly that. They're just like, oh my God, like let's do it as soon as quarantine is over because it's time to celebrate. And then there's the other side where they're like, do I really want my guests to come, like the first big event to be like at my wedding? Like, are they
yeah,
going to be terrible? You know? And I don't know. Like, I mean, nobody really has the answer of how this
yeah,
is going to pan out, right? So we could just like really hope for the best and hope that it'll have some kind of normalcy in the very end. Like, hopefully that people will remember what it was like to not live in fear, you know,
yeah.
and to not feel um, like this panic whenever they leave the house. You know what I mean? So I think that that's important. So on that note, I wanted to ask, how can we at this point support you? So as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you know, I'm a very big believer about shopping local. So I wanted to know, like, what can we do to help you right now?
Buy the home wine experience. No. Well, yeah, I mean, just connecting and I'm a huge connector. I love connecting with people. I love bringing people together. So just staying in touch. If people have questions, if they want to be learning, um, feel free to shoot me a message if you want to know a good wine pairing, if you want to know, food and wine, uh, anything, let me know.
That's awesome. And can you do me
And
a favor? Sorry, on
yeah,
that note, can you go into the comments and just write something in the comments so that people can see your Instagram handle so that
yeah, for sure.
they can follow you? Because I think that that's important. Social media has been so crucial around this time just because
Right.
that keeps people, you know, relevant, you know, especially people like us that where we depend so much on like, you know, being present, right? So
Yeah,
just
for
like
sure.
do a wave or something like that because it's like, hey, I'm here, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to take part in um, the home wine experience, feel free to email me. I just posted my email. It's events with an S at vinevintage.ca. There's no obligation. I'll send you all the information and everything, and
Right.
feel free to ask questions. But yeah, we're just providing this fun service. You don't have to wait in line for the LCBO. And I also just want to mention, with Mother's Day coming up, I've had a few clients purchase this for their moms,
Yeah,
and it's a really fun thing for them to either do with their mom, if they're living with them,
yeah,
make a few recipes and have some meals together, or send it to their mom and their mom having some entertainment
absolutely.
right available at her door. So,
That's an amazing idea. And I think that this is very timely. It just so happens to be the Wednesday before Mother's Day. So you guys are still looking for a Mother's Day gift, you know, a delivery, you know, contactless delivery, obviously, right? Like on the porch. And, you know, that would be fantastic because then it'll give mom something to do and it's lasting, right? So it's not like, I mean, I'm doing Mother's Day bouquets and flowers, but I mean, that stuff is perishable in some ways or another, right? So like, your package is even better because it will last for a lot longer, you know, especially if it's just mom, you know,
yeah.
just by herself. So like this should last her for a while. So I think that that's definitely great. So I have one last question before we sign off. Uh,
Hmm.
tell me something about yourself that people don't know about, something quirky.
Something quirky.
Not not too quirky. You don't have to go that way, but like, I mean, something interesting about yourself.
I am a very active person. I do CrossFit.
Oh, cool.
So I have to juggle drinking wine and getting up early in the morning to lift heavy weights.
Do you do it at the same time? Now that is a talent, because that is.
You know what? Funny enough, over these Zoom workouts, I've been using bottles of wine sometimes as weights, but not drinking it. So I've been good.
Like a like in between your like sets, and just like take like a little victory sip. It might not be a bad idea. Obviously, countering it with a lot of water, but like, who knows? Who knows? I look
maybe I'll try that. I'll let you know how it goes.
You're gonna text me the next day. He was like, bad idea. Really finished the workout 20 minutes earlier than I needed to.
I like hurt myself. Yeah.
And hurt myself, fell over, and I'll be like, ooh, that's the best. I am so sorry. Anyway, okay, so before we sign up, I just wanted to take a screenshot. So smile on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Did it work?
Did that happen? Did that work?
Did it work?
Yeah. It worked. Amazing.
Before we sign off,
cool. Thank you
before we sign off, actually, I do have a couple of bottles
but who cares? I mean,
from the home wine experience. So that's one of them.
Wow.
And then we also have the Charles Baker Riesling.
Ooh,
so that has been a really popular
sweeter white wine. So that's like my thing. This is the Moscato. Go ahead.
Sorry, no, you know that people what about Moscato?
No. I said like this is a Moscato, and like a lot of people just they think it's too sweet. So I think like Riesling is a very good option.
Yeah, this Riesling it has sweetness. It's really great. And then we have a French red wine, and this one has been flying. So there's wine from all different countries, and it's really awesome.
Amazing. Thank you so much again for joining us, and I thank you for showing us that, because I think that for people that just logged on to, like, I think one really good feature to note is the fact that you can't get this wine at the LCBO. So that is super important. So if you're wondering like, oh, what's the difference between ordering from you or whatnot and ordering from the LCBO, there's a huge difference, because you can't get that anywhere, and that's amazing. That's an amazing factor for you. So like, I think that's awesome. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate
Thank you so much, Kimberly. Yeah, it was
amazing.
Great.
And to everyone that's watching, thank you so much. This will be reposted later if you missed it, and hope to see you guys soon. Bye.
All right, bye. Thanks.